Hi guys, this is Shaheer Ahmad and today I'm going to show you how you can show and hide modern command bar buttons based on child records. In order to do that, we will first need tables and a model-driven application. I will go ahead and quickly create a solution. Select a publisher, click on create, and then I will go ahead and create a new table. Click on save. And then I will go ahead and create the child table. Click on save. Add a lookup to our parent table. Select the data type and search for our table. Select our table and click on save. Once the column is created, I will go ahead and quickly configure the form. Once the form editor is loaded, I will just go ahead and add the lookup column to our parent record. Click on save and publish. Once it is published, I will close the tab. And now we will create our model-driven application. Click on New, go into Apps, and select Model-Driven Application. Give it a name. Click on Create. Once the app is initialized, I will go ahead and add page. Click on Dataverse table. Search for the parent and the child table. Make sure the Show in Navigation checkbox is ticked and click on Add. Save, and then publish the model-driven application. Once the app is published, I will go ahead and in the navigation, click on three dots for our parent table. Go into the Edit command bar and select Edit in New tab. I'll select main form. You guys can select whichever suits your requirements and click on Edit. And then I will go ahead and add a new command by clicking on the New button in the ribbon and select Command. You will see this pop up to confirm whether we would like to create a powerfx or a JavaScript button. The powerfx button will require a component library to store our formulas and have certain limitations. You can click on this link to review all the limitations. Or we can add a JavaScript button which does not require a component library, and we can still create a component library later on if we change our mind. For now, I will click on powerfx and continue. It will then create the component library in the background. This might take a minute. The command bar is created, and now we can go ahead and provide it a name. Use an icon, and on the formula, I'll just add a confirmation pop-up. And on the visibility, you can see that we have two options, either to always show or show on condition from formula. I will select the second option and click on Open Formula Bar. Here, we can type a condition in powerfx to determine whether to show or hide our button. On the right side of the ribbon, you will be able to see a button called Open Component Library. I will click on that. Click on Save. Make sure the pop-ups are not blocked because it will open the component library in a new tab. Once it saves and publishes, it will open our component library. The library is loaded now. And as you can see in the components, we have our button. And in the screens, we have a helper screen. We won't change anything in this helper screen. And in the components here, you can see that on the onSelect property, I have my function, which I wrote in our previous modern command bar editor. And if I click on the properties, you can see the visible property here, which is set to true at the moment. I will go ahead into the data and add our child table so that we can reference it in our condition. Once the table is added, go back into the tree view, and in the components, make sure the component is selected. And on the visible property, I will go ahead and write my formula. For this demo, I will write a powerfx condition to check if there is any active child record, and only show the button if there is an active child record. In order to reference our current record, we can use self.selected.item and then the record GUID. Now add the condition to verify the status of the record. And that's it. We can now save and then publish our library. And once it's published, we can close our component library And we are prompted back to our modern command bar editor and click on resume. Now it will refresh all of the configurations. And now you can see our formula has been updated here. We will go back into our application and play it. And now let's create simple records. I will go ahead and create a parent record. Give it a name and save. And in the related, we can see our child table here. Add a new child record. Click on save and close. Now I will go ahead and refresh. If you don't see your button, you can clear your cache and refresh again. And you can see that we have an active child record and our button is visible. Now if we go ahead and deactivate our child record and navigate again into our parent record, and as you can see, the button is now disappeared. And if we go ahead into our child record and activate this record again, go into the parent record, give it a refresh, and you can see the button is now appeared again. And if we go back into our solution, you will be able to see the component library created here as well. You cannot directly create new command buttons from here, but you can edit existing ones directly from here. Make sure to publish any changes in order for them to reflect in your application. And that's all. Thank you for watching.